Do we have a show this evening? Yes, indeed. All the elements are there. All the elements, up and down, right and left, back and forth. All the elements are there. Let's play a song and welcome some people in. Give us about, I don't know, about 4 minutes or something. Something like that. Get some people in here and have some fun. Oh, my. And it's a fitting song. It's a fitting song we play, and it's a fitting game.
That enveloped me, and what I saw I like to see. I never knew where evil grew. I should have steered away from you. My friends told me it came clear of you. Something drew me near to you. Never knew where evil grew. Evil grows in the dark, where the sun never shines. Evil grows in cracks and holes, and lives in people's minds.
Is being drained, and I think we have more evidence of this. Welcome, everyone. This is MGTOW Values, bringing joy and happiness to the world. And as we get going, this story is about this guy called Stephen Bing. And well, this is going to be a pretty interesting story. If you haven't heard it, go look it up. We'll be talking about this, and it's one of those crazy stories, really, that it's hard to get your head around. And it's, on the one hand, it's a sad story. On the other hand, there may be justice involved. Now, I don't know the man. You know, it might be completely I might be completely maligning him, but I don't know. Some of it seems to be true. Hey, Stone Reaper, how are you? I don't know. Have you heard this story about Stephen Bing? Okay, so the guy wakes up one day when he's 19 years old and finds out, well, maybe he already knew, I'm not sure about this, but he finds out he's got $800 million. This is like near back in 1985. You know, 800 million in 85, that's a lot of money. Yeah. Anyway, so, he winds up being worth $800 million, like starting out as, as an adult. Anyway, didn't take long for him to drop out of university. Okay. Wanted to go to Hollywood. Okay, here we go. And what's this? 20. So he's about 20 years old, gets this money, and 35 years later, he decides to, at the age of 55, jump off a building. And that's it. End of story. Well, not quite end of story, I guess. But end of his story. And so he jumps off the building. And who is this guy? Who is this Stephen Bing who would want to, and okay, so he got 800 million. And when he jumped, apparently it was still around 500 million. He gave a lot away. Why in the hell not, right? But he was still holding on. I read $470 million. Right? So he gave like a lot of money away, right? He gave huge amounts to the Democratic Party and other people. Some of it probably being good. No question. Nobody's fully evil. Somebody asked them to do a good thing. Okay, they may get some benefit, but they do the good thing. Okay. But who was this guy? Yes, well, definitely he's on the Clinton list. In fact, I'll put it up right now that you mention it. Bubba had something to say. There he is. Whoops, I put it out. There we go. Do that one. There's Bubba and Stephen. Bill Clinton, I love Stephen Bing very much. He had a big heart, and he was willing to do anything he could for the people and causes he believed in. I will miss him and his enthusiasm more than I can say. Yeah, I bet. I hope he's finally found peace. Yeah, you better hope, because you're looking for the same peace whenever, something comes and takes you. Is he going to find peace? Well, apparently there was one other fellow to make, the triumvirate of swamp complete, and that was Jeffrey Epstein. Apparently, and I'll bring this up now. We can get to it later on. Oh, the story continues. Let me, where is it? I had it here. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Oh, yeah. There we go. So, here we've got a Vanity, whoops, wrong one. Here we got a Vanity Fair article from October 2019. So, Epstein was a monster who portrayed himself as a man of mystery. Okay. Great. And they make a nice little picture of him. Okay. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Film financer Stephen Bing. Right there. Former President Bill Clinton flying around on Epstein's jet, dubbed the Lolita Express, or Burkle's jet, or dubbed Air Fuck One. Can I say that? Well, I don't know. So, I just sort of figured this. Okay, so the guy's 55, he's not married, and we'll get to that. And he seems to ride around on Epstein's jet. Yeah, he's got 800 million. So this is Chad, everyone. If you don't know what Chad looks like, there's Chad. In fact, there's two Chads. But the one on the right, that's Stephen Bing, he got $800 million when he was... Oh my God, Mad Max. I'm just reading that now. Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't enough. So he still had $470 million. Like, he could have spent it. I'm sure he could have found someone to give it to. Nope, tall building. Let's do the tall building. And those with keen observational skills will notice, or maybe not. I got my title here as Splats on concrete, whereas the other one's Splats on asphalt, because I'm really not sure what the fuck happened, to tell you the truth. He's dead, and how much of a swamp creature was he? Well, he was Chad. Can you imagine, at 19 years old, the aggregate bundle of resources that this guy had? How many Chad widows did he make? Oh, it's going to be in the dozens, right? So, he's good looking. At a young age, certainly good looking. He's got status. He's, hobnobbing with anyone in Hollywood, right? Trying to get, he wrote some stuff. He got some stuff produced. And one of them you might recognize. I think Polar Express, you recognize. Tom Hanks, but he did something with Mick Jagger. Paid money to get these rock things made. Rock documentaries made. Okay. So high status, high money, high looks. This guy was Chad. This is Mr. Chad. Can I introduce to you Mr. Chad? And anyway, he still had 470 million left, so he gave hundreds of millions away, obviously, with inflation, gave hundreds of millions away, and still had 470 million, and said, was that Dak? No, he didn't say that. The rabbit's fucking about to do something, isn't it? You don't want to take it too hard there, Bad Max 1962. You don't want to take it too hard. If that rabbit was eating your lettuce, maybe it's time for rabbit stew, not the tall building. You stay away from that tall building. Rabbit stew sounds better, but not for Stevie Bing. No, Epstein was just, didn't kill himself. And then Stephen Bing, well, he didn't kill himself. Hold it, he may have killed himself. Probably didn't. He probably didn't either. Who in the hell knows? But he gave millions and millions and millions and millions and millions to the Democrat Party. Millions and millions. Okay. So here it is. His world's collapsing, right? Now, I don't know, but I noticed this even a few years ago, that with Weinstein going down and then Epstein going down, and I noticed that the swamp was being drained. That pizza shop in Washington got outed, and despite the facts, people are still trying to make it seem like those pictures were good, and that Hillary Clinton's advisor Podesta, that the picture behind his desk was normal, which it wasn't. That it's closed down, and all of these people are out. They're gone. The swamp has started to be drained, and here we see more of it. Another one of those high flyers on the Lolita Express. And I'm just sort of waiting for YouTube to shut me down, because those pricks at YouTube, they like the Lolita Express. They like these people. That's who they work for. So we'll find out. Anyway, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at the swamp Chad, Chad of the swamp. He just didn't want to live anymore. I think it was the mirror that did it. It's not just that little thing in the Vanity Fair. No, it gets a little bit more interesting, I think. In this, let's go up and look at this guy next. It's funny where this story took me, because it took me to a place I didn't expect. It took me to that guy here. Now, I'd never heard of the guy. Kirk Kerkorian. Never heard of the guy. He's Armenian. You see, he's got a stamp in Armenia, but he's American. Like, he was born in America. His parents were off the boat, but he wasn't. Anyway, he was like rich. Holy shit. Compared to Bing, no, Bing was not fucking rich. This guy was rich. He gave $1 billion for charity in Armenia. Holy shit. I don't know. Did he ever set foot there? Maybe. But, so this guy He purchased Metro Goldwyn Mayer movie studio in 1969. He the father of the mega resorts in Las Vegas, building the biggest hotel 3 times, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. Oh my God! You read his what does it say here? 4 billion. 4 billion. Something makes me think it was slightly more, but anyway, he deserved it. I've got no problem with this guy getting 4 billion, and I got no problem with Stephen Bing inheriting 800 million from his granddad. No problem at all. No problem at all. You know, I got no problem with this. So anyway, he's got an interesting history, and okay, Kerkorian was an intensely private person. Well, not really. He could just pay to keep his name out of the press, I guess. Anyway, apparently he had a penchant for expensive clothes, but drove low-cost vehicles like a Firebird, a Grand Cherokee, Ford Taurus. Now, I'm not surprised at the Firebird. That was a nice car, wasn't it? The Cherokee, okay, that's sort of fun. But a Taurus? Holy shit. Anyway, here's where it gets interesting. So, he was married 3 times. Okay. But he had a short-lived third marriage, 1999, to professional tennis player Lisa Bonder. I didn't even look up her picture. She's probably hot, but I didn't look. 48 years as junior. You know what that is. Can't anyone spell hypergamy? Hypergamy. Well, yeah. Okay. Anyway, here we go. So the two had signed a prenup before marrying. Of course they did. And then Kerkorian was subsequently involved in a breach of privacy suit filed against him by Stephen Bing. Yes, the one and only Stephen Bing. How the hell did this happen? Well, apparently, and I'll get to the quick and easy on this. Stephen Bing had impregnated Lisa Bonder, denied the child was his. It's not the first time Stephen Bing did this. And when Lisa Bonder was married to Kerkorian for, get this, 30 days. 1 month. 1 month, 30 days. She was trying to get him to pay child support. And Kerkorian hired, it appears here, both attorneys, and the attorneys hired this private investigator, Anthony Pellicano, and they found out, oh my, yes indeed, he was the father of Bonder's daughter. And Pellicano used a strand of Bing's used dental floss to prove he was the father, and thus probably, Kerkorian avoided having to pay, child support to Bing's kid. So here's Steve Bing trying to throw Kerkorian under the bus. Just if it's your daughter, you gotta pay. Chad gets caught, right? Here it is. Chad gets caught. He gets caught by Lisa Bonder. She couldn't prove it, so maybe she married Kerkorian just to get someone to pay for her kid, because apparently Steve Bing has a habit of doing this, because he did the same thing with Elizabeth Hurley, that actress from the UK. I also came up with this. He denied that her son was his, and it finally came out that it was, so he had to own up to it. But here's a guy who rides on the Lolita Express, who denies parenting 2 kids, and then this Lisa Bonder hypergamates up, maybe to get somebody to pay for her kid, and then finally, he has to own up to it. So Chad gets caught, and I don't know. Maybe he couldn't live with having 2 kids that probably know what he is. He's a rider of the Lolita Express, and he doesn't accept his kids at all, and won't even own up to it. If you do, you take the DNA test, right? You got to take it in a couple of places just to double check, triple check, and okay, that's the risk you get. That's the risk you take, Chad, isn't it? That's the risk you take, Chad. Anyway, so we see this story here, and We'll put up here Stephen Bing. Whoops, that's not it. Whoops, having some trouble here. There we go. There's Stephen Bing. All sorts of stuff. He did something good. 10 to 25 million. They can't even get it to the William J. Clinton Foundation. Okay, Jesus. Lisa Bonder. Bing sued billionaire Kirk Kerkorian for invasion of privacy. Yeah, you're a scumbag, Bing. He should have sued you for sicking that woman on him, trying to get her, to take him for a ride when you won't, take responsibility for your sperm. Yeah, Bing? You're trying to throw Kirk Kerkorian under the fucking bus. Now, I don't know about that guy. Maybe he's not a good guy. He seems like an okay guy. I can't tie him to anything. Bing is pretty easy, So, after Bing was proved by DNA test to be the father of Bonder's child, Bing and Kerkorian settled their dispute out of court. Yeah, it was Kerkorian saying, "Grow up, you fucking kid." And maybe that echoed in his brain until finally the asphalt looked more desirable than the pillow. What a guy. This guy is a piece of work. Yeah, and again, the 800 million, sure, enjoy it, but what are you doing? Impregnating these women and then not taking responsibility and then trying to throw another man under the bus. Yeah. Anyway, my God, what a day. What a life. It just goes to show you that money can't buy you happiness. It can't buy you love, and it can't buy you happiness, and all the sickness. I'm thinking of the picture of Dorian Gray. My God, all the sickness. Why didn't he just take a standard path and enjoy life? No, didn't want to do that. Let's go to Hollywood. Yeah, well, yeah, it's hard to say, isn't it, Stone Reaper? This is sort of, the story. I don't think he's innocent. And there's probably good reasons why he can't look himself in the mirror, probably. Just, what's the point in living now? And maybe the circle's in closing. Maybe he knew that, a lot of people are now thinking they can put these creeps on the Lolita Express up and up on trial and bring them down. Epstein's gone. Nobody can protect him. And this may be a main reason, one of them, not the main, but a main, one of many reasons why they want to get Trump out of here. Because he's allowing this to happen. He's allowing the swamp to be drained. And on and on and on and on and on and on. It's being drained. You see them falling. Joe Biden is a joke. I think he's a joke candidate. I don't know why they're letting him do it. He's on record saying, yeah, swamp Chad. He's a Chad of the swamp. Friends with Bill Clinton. Gave between 10 and 25 million to the William J. Clinton Foundation. They can't even narrow it down, $15 million difference. Just an accounting rounding error. Yeah, but he was Chad. The guy, at 20 years old or 19 years old or something, got 800 million from his granddad. Direct. Do not pass through dad, who is still alive. Go direct to grandson. Oh, that's sweet. 800 million. And, he's a good-looking guy. He went to Hollywood, and he was, doing movies and putting money into movies, rock and roll people. He was living the life. And you can imagine, the amount of women that he could have had or did have or whatever it is. Yeah, my God, why are they keeping him alive? Why isn't there that nail gun nice and handy for good old Joe? My God, 14 times in the head. How did that ever happen? Anyway, Swamp Chad. This is the Chad. He's the guy. Let me show the picture again. I'll bring the picture up here. They're there. They're there. Bill and Bing. Bill and Bing. Not the greatest expression on Bing's face, but, he wasn't in the public eye as much. I never heard of the guy, How many guys? I never heard of, Kerkorian. That guy was, like, real rich. And, it was up in the double-digit billions at one point in his life. Came down to 4 when he died, but... I never hear about these guys. Why in the fuck would I want to know about these guys? I mean, nothing to me. But, some people know them, obviously. But, money can't buy you happiness. But here we are, this good evening with the people, and we're all bringing joy and happiness to the world here in MGTOW because we know this story. We know how this ends. He was, a gynocentric twerp. And then he was throwing men under the bus. He was, trying to lock in this Kurt Kerkorian guy to pay for his kid. You son of a bitch. Well, he may have been. I don't know. I didn't meet his mother. But, that's just a nasty thing to do. That's a piece of work. Throwing other men under the bus. And, this Lisa Bonner wasn't going to go cheap. That's why, one lawyer and one... private investigator went to jail for a long time. Yeah. Oh, geez. Oh, my. Baron Exile. This is not good information here. Yeah, see, this is idiocracy. Stuff breaks and nobody wants to fix it, and... pretty soon they're going to be declaring downtown Chicago an autonomous zone, and, then all hell's going to break loose. Apparently, don't worry about it, Baron Exile. Yeah, it's, what I said was probably a good explanation, but, yeah, he's a swamp Chad. He's Chad. You look him up, Stephen Bing. Look him up, that's probably the fastest way to get this story. Stephen Bing. Big time Democrat Party contributor. Big time traveler on the Lolita Express. $800 million when he was like 19 or something. Yeah, traversable. Yeah, this is the Swamp Chad. The picture's up, I believe. The guy on the right is Stephen Bing. Got $800 million when he was 19 and died with about 470. That's what I read. So, it was a good life, man. You can't spend that much money without having a good life. And traveled on Epstein's plane, and God only knows what he did. And then, he was just Chad. He was in Hollywood, sort of hanging out with everyone, making sort of movies, producing movies, did some writing, maybe some directing, he could do anything he wanted to. And the women, he did. Elizabeth Hurley denied that her son was his. What a jerk, right? To disown your son. You goofy. He refused to take a paternity test for the longest time. What an asshole. Then he got involved with this other guy, richer guy, Kurt Kerkorian. And that guy, he was multi-billion, double-digit billion, when Bing tried to, send his former squeeze up to Kerkorian. Does anyone know how to spell hypergamy? This Lisa Bonder, she gets pregnant with Bing's kid, and Bing doesn't want to own this kid either. And then she marries this Kerkorian for 30 days, and then sues him for child support. And Kerkorian says, I don't think I'm going to let that happen. I think somebody else is the father. He's probably that Bing guy. Let me go find out. And he sends a private investigator to take a used piece of dental floss to get a DNA. And Bing is found to be, the father, and then, sues Kerkorian. God almighty. What a soap opera. But here we have, swamp. Here we have swamp, and it's being drained, and nobody's safe. This guy, hundreds of millions of dollars. Everyone knows him, his friends in Hollywood, and gets huge amounts of money, and none of it's worth anything. So he jumps off a tall building at 55 years old. And you know what happens. It doesn't matter whether it's concrete or asphalt. You know what happens. My God, Bad Max. That rabbit, we're getting back to that rabbit again. The rabbit appears in Monty Python's Quest for the Holy Grail. I can't believe it. How many times does that movie have to come up? That rabbit is vicious. It's a vicious rabbit. Run! Run! Run away! Run away! My God. I don't know. You know, they're both white-haired over there, so you know. Here's what Bill said. I love Steve Bing very much. He had a big heart, and he was willing to do anything he could for the people and causes he believed in. I will miss him and his enthusiasm more than I can say. And I hope. You hope? He's finally found peace. Because if he hasn't found peace, if he's burning in the pits of hell where the evil go, then, well, so will you. It's the same rabbit. Yeah, gravity happens. Isn't that like a twist on the shit happens? Gravity happens. But, you know, as Bad Max indicated earlier, it may not have been gravity. It may have been the proverbial nail gun. Oh, my God. You have to laugh. You have to laugh, because look what they're doing. The swamp does not want to be drained. They've destroyed the economy of the United States, and it's just going to get worse. And we're going to see, I think, worse. We hope for the best. We hope for the best. But the swamp is being drained, and the price to pay may be high. These people are evil. And hopefully, to God, the children will be safe. You know, whatever children are left, you know. It doesn't matter, really. But, you know, they're doing their best to destroy. Okay, they're destroying. Because they can't take it, so they put up, a joke candidate. And apparently there's going to be a debate. Maybe they'll pump Joe Biden up with some new smart pills. Give him the smart pills. Maybe he'll say something smart. As opposed to what he normally says, which is, what was that again? Yeah. Anyway, maybe he can find everyone in America a $50,000 a month job without any qualifications whatsoever. Well, excellent, Stone Reaper. Thanks for dropping in. And gotta go to work. Good. Take care of it. Taking care of business every day. Taking care of business. Yeah. Well, that's Stephen Bing. I don't know what kind of business he had to take care of. But it's the kind of business that most people wish they had to take care of. How to take care of hundreds of millions of dollars that you didn't have to earn. Okay. And I think a lot of people are going to wonder, I've heard about millionaires committing suicide before. And but never in the hundreds of millions, although it's probably happened. You think you'd be able to make it through your life. Even if it's a health issue, well, maybe it is. Maybe it's a health issue. Maybe he was diagnosed with something horrible and nobody can do anything about it. And he had to take the proverbial decision now. And, okay, maybe it's that. But what he's done still doesn't sound good. Threw a man under the bus, denied his parenting actions, and tried to, step aside from responsibilities. And yes, he is indeed Chad. I think he's the king of Chad. Well, one of them. He's got enough money to compete with, the emirs of the Persian Gulf, right? So he's got big enough money that, he's like Super Chad. And what did he do? Well, he made a movie, Polar Express, and maybe some other movies that are worthwhile. Okay. So maybe there's something there. It's hard to get up in the morning when, you got 800 big ones in the bank. Oh, God. And by big ones, I mean big ones. Yeah, big. 7-letter big ones. Yeah. So, anyway, that's Swamp Jazz Splats on Concrete. Yeah. What else can you say? It's either that or it's Vincent Foster, incident. Swamp Chad Vincent Foster's. Is that a new verb? To Vincent Foster someone? Yeah, I had him Vincent Fostered. Maybe, But here we have it. Wow. Oh. And it's June 24th. That's not good. Potato planting is hopefully by the second week of April, right? If not the first. And this is for NB and not PEI. 7 straight days of mid-90s. And it's only June. Yeah, no, I saw the East was getting hot. And the West, man, they had snow. They had snow in Wyoming. And this sort of bifurcation of the temperature, I remember this from like a couple of years ago, too. So hot in the east and cold in the west, or maybe it was upside down, but yeah, by a sprinkler. Yeah. No, they normally don't irrigate in the east. Normally there's lots of rain out there. That's one of the, it's either one of the good things or bad things. You more likely get it too wet. I remember one year there was too much rain and the potatoes were sort of rotten in the ground. Wow. Well, they better buy a sprinkler. New Brunswick's got some pretty big lakes. It's got enough lakes. Nova Scotia's got a whole shitload of lakes. Put a hose in and pull it across the Bay of Fundy or something. Yep, my God. And Arizona, generally, it's been cold out west, but yeah, my God, isn't that something? New Brunswick hotter than Florida? Get out of here. Get out of here. I sort of remember that a couple of times, actually, growing up. Just, suddenly very hot. Not in Halifax, but in the Annapolis Valley. It'd be really, really hot there for some reason. And, it's the Gulf Stream, where it goes, how it goes. But, the field's dry as hell. That's not good news. Not good news at all, really. But, you can expect a drought. What did the Farmer's Almanac say? That's a good thing to check. What did the Farmer's Almanac say for this year? For some reason, it's touted. I haven't checked, but it's touted as being accurate. Not every year, but generally, it's given a pretty good indication. But you're gonna get it. Yeah, no, I do find that interesting, and I got lots of family up there, and I haven't been talking to them. They've probably been sweating like me. Mid-90s. It might be that right now. Let me check the temperature here. Temperature. It's 76. It's 76 now. And, it's only going to get up to 90 tomorrow. But, that's because it's raining. Normally we're at about, let me see, Yeah, normally it's 92 every day. Every day. Maybe in the heat of the day without any wind or anything, it might get up to 93 or 4, but that's it. So, yeah, no, hot up north, as it should be. But it's good for the lettuce. The lettuce likes the heat, doesn't it? I think the lettuce likes the heat, and the rabbits like the heat too. And the rabbits and the lettuce both like the heat, and so it's like rabbit heaven. Just think of it that way. Bad for the potatoes, but good for the rabbits and the lettuce. So that's good. Hey, Lamprey Mill, how are you? Yeah, you missed the show. It was a great show. I'm not going to stay on too much longer, but it's about Stevie Bing. His picture's up there. And Bubba was hoping that Steve's going to a great place. But I don't think Steve's going to a great place. It's probably a bad place he's going. He did bad things. He was a swamp Chad, and they're no longer protected. So this is draining the swamp, and it's gonna. I think they want it to stop. All the pedophilia, all of it. They want it to stop. Everyone wants it to stop. That's why they're against Trump. Trump said he drained the swamp, and my God, he is. Are the American people going to stay with him? I think so. Look at what's happening. It's nuts. He's just letting it happen, sitting back saying, well, whatever they break, we can rebuild, but, what is it? Hell hath no fury like a pedophile scorned. Isn't that it? Like a swamp creature scorned. And you see Bolton, right? The guy comes out with a book. The guy's a bloodthirsty warmonger, right? Under the great adage, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. In all the years that Bolton was there, no wars got started. In fact, war sort of ended. And so Bolton's obviously upset, and his handlers at the military-industrial complex are probably freaking. They want him dead. Apparently, somebody told me, I cannot verify this, obviously, that there have been 14 attempts on Trump's life. I don't know. And he's got a couple of doubles. And I sort of noticed that after I, thought about it for a minute. Sometimes he's looking different. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where he went, but in that moment when the heart stops and the brain's not, well, actually the brain's splattered, so maybe that's it. So, there is that moment of time, but and you get to think about it. Yeah, my God. Anyway, everyone go out and buy the book and just read. Apparently, it just makes Bolton out to be what he is. He's a warmongering piece of shit. And he was part of the Project for a New American Century, and you know what they did? These guys are evil. And I think this whole COVID-19 hoax on top of the Russiagate hoax, on top of the impeachment hoax, and now on top of the purge hoax, I think they're spending their load. And, okay, they may be causing great trouble, but he's not overreacting. And the mayor of Seattle apparently now has called off the summer of love and called it the summer of hate. No, actually, I just call it the summer of hate. But it's morphing into the summer of hate, and eventually, you know what's going to happen to her, don't you? And anyone sees the salad being made, there's lettuce aplenty to go around for the mayor of Seattle. There's lettuce aplenty. Yes, there we go. Yeah, my God. The swamp creature. Hey, I just got an error. YouTube is not receiving enough video. They didn't like that comment. Islam is right about women. They did not like that comment. Being bent over by Satan. Yep. You're taking it now, aren't you, Stevie? All those years. thought you were going to get away with a life of, depravity, probably, and whatever else you did. Some of it's been recorded. You can't take down a guy like Kurt Kerkorian. Now, that's sort of a guy to look at. I don't know what he's like, but he went after the wrong guy, and Kurt Kerkorian brought him down. Yeah. One wonders. How long will it be, Bad Max, before they cotton onto that? And we'll have to go with the word cotton. Yeah, they'll never figure that one out, will they? Hey, is there any lettuce in your salad? Any lettuce? Could I have some lettuce, please? Could I get some lettuce on my hamburger, please? Yeah. No, it's the summer of hate in Seattle. My God, it looks despicable there. But it's good. It's good drama, isn't it? It's like real life idiocy, and again, I'm not against the police accountability push, and I'm not against even saying that there is targeting, and the targeting is due to Lyndon B. Johnson, I believe, for making the paying black women to have babies. That was a quote I heard from Richard Nixon, and that's what they did with the civil rights. This is part of what they did, was the destruction of the black family, the criminalizing of black men, and then it's that cycle. It's that downward cycle we see on the street, in prison, on the street, in prison, and the police are responding to that. They respond to what they see. This has all been engineered, and there's no privilege for white people. They're getting shot. I looked at Aggie Nagi's video, and I recommend people go see it. He makes a mention of the way I looked at the numbers, which is obviously a correct way to look at them. The rate is double. There was 235 kills of black people by cops in 2019. Statistically at 13%. It should have been 100. So it's double. So, this is obviously there's something askew, there's some problem, but it's no privilege for the white people, because ultimately in Canada, in Toronto, which has more, I think, police shootings than other places per capita, maybe, it's 4 or 5 times the number of shootings leading to death as a rate. This is not good. So, white people in America are being targeted by the police state, apparently, and there's some chief of police. I got the quote. There's 365 interactions between the police and people. There's only 330 million people. That's one interaction per year per person. What? That's a police state. That's what I would think. You shouldn't see the police. Why the hell should you see the police? It's a fucking police state. Yeah. Than not being white or being white. That's what, apparently, some people are made to pay a whitey tax. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to paradise. I think we can go back to the theme here of bringing joy and happiness to the world. You pay me $10. Okay. I'm not thinking this is good, one way or the other. This is not good. And morons being heard from. Yeah, they gotta have their say too. They gotta have their say. And they want to forget about history. They probably don't know who LBJ is. I was just waking up into adulthood, looking back from Nixon onto LBJ. You hear about it. But I was getting Martin Luther King Jr. And, that speech was, repeatedly played. You heard it, and you said, well, yeah, obviously. I thought it was obvious. You judge a man by the content of his character. That's it, isn't it? And this is the way I thought everyone was after Martin Luther King said it. It just made ultimately too much sense. And yeah. Yes, I know, Bad Max. It's like a catch-22. It's some twisted catch-22. Yeah. Yeah, was that? Did I hear about that, Baron Exile? I'd like the URL. Send it through in a upside down text or email. And but yeah, no, the police ignore their own bad seeds, right? So one bad cop does something, the rest of them, they should have taken him down and taken him out right at the beginning. But they didn't. They left him in there. The chief left him in there. And so on and so on. And so, yeah, the numbers are way, too high. You're never going to get 0 police killings a year. You're never going to get 0. Somebody's going to do suicide by police. Somebody's just going to do something stupid. They're going to lose it. There's 4% psychopaths. So, yeah, you're not going to get to 0. Although I got to say, I looked at Singapore. They've declared 3 police shooting deaths or police deaths in 15 years. That's 1 death every 5 years. In a city of, maybe 2.5, maybe 3.5 million, something like that. So, you're highly likely not to be killed by the police, but, they may do other things to you that you won't like. It's not the nicest place, but, last time I was there, it was, you never saw the police. The cameras are there, and so they're watching the detectives. Whoops. Oh, it's a bit shoot. It's a bit shoot. Oh, it was in New Mexico.
Dude, you guys! You're gonna fucking kill you! You fucking hurt!
Oh!
Fuck!
Oh, that was shocking.
Oh, fuck! Get his fucking license plate!
Oh,
He just fucking shot him!
that was shocking. There you go.
Dude, you guys! You're gonna fucking kill you! You fucking hurt! Fuck! Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck!
Yeah, I think the guy who was
Get
shooting
his fucking license plate!
ran off. I don't think
He just fucking shot him!
that's not him on the ground. That's somebody else. Yeah, I think that's called don't show up to a gunfight with a knife. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. This was about to happen, wasn't it? What did you do on the weekend? Well, I think I went to an Antifa protest with a knife. And so yeah, I know, Baron Exxon. I don't know what now. It's got to stop. Whatever it is, it's not your average whitey who's doing anything. There's people with hard hearts on all sides, and if you're going to make people choose, well, you got to give them a choice, and if they have no choice, then you've made the choice for them. So if you're going to break the country into these camps, it's going to be a mess, right? It's going to be a mess, and that's it. So, and I wonder why they're doing this. Well, I think it's called divide and conquer. There you go. And the countries that were the most purposely diversified are the countries that are going to go down the wrong path. And all by design, right? This is manufactured destabilization, and I don't think America's going to fall for it. To tell you the truth, I think there's just too much history of living together and watching the police do bad things and doing bad things, and watching the government socially engineer destruction in community after community. I think people are waking up to it, but I could be wrong. And a lot of men are getting upset that they see men giving money on the on the e-thoughts and shit like that. I'm not worried. I see a whole lot of men just saying, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm going for something else. And okay, they're tied to the programming in their brain, plus a little social narrative, but they're getting through it. Yeah. And the courts, the courts are horrible. The courts are horrible. And, maybe, no, it's all engineered. I'm going to say that while it was bad, and maybe it was worse than bad for black people in America, not so much in Canada. The numbers out in Toronto were slightly higher than percent of the population. Hispanic was slightly higher, and Asian and white were both slightly lower for police shootings. But in total, it was 52 in Toronto in 17 years, right? So we're not talking anything. I don't think. What's that? 3 a year, right? So it's roughly 3 police shootings a year in a city of 5 million, 6 million. I'm not sure how I'm going to play that. Maybe it should be lower. I don't know. Now they broke it up into race, but I would break it up into, how many people were American coming over the border, or from some other country and stuff. How long were they in Canada? I would break it into that. Were they all Canadian? It didn't mention that. And I'm going to say no, they weren't all Canadian. Canadians are too nice to get the police to shoot them, Unless you're nuts like that guy in Nova Scotia, And snap, he snapped. Like this Steve Bing guy, he seemed to snap. He knew the gambit was up. The swamp is being drained. They're going down. The Democrats are showing themselves to be absolutely insane and tying themselves to Antifa and the most horrible of divisive people. And they come into America and they don't understand America. And just they come into Canada, they don't understand Canada. Somebody tells them something, they read a book and think they know about it and think they have all these rights. Well, you do, but for heaven's sakes, you got to show respect to people. And maybe that's the problem. That fuck boy from Vietnam coming over and just destroying this professor's life because she wants to be called fuck boy. Oh my. That's just total disrespect. I'm telling you one thing, you would not go to Southeast Asia and do that. You would not do that. You would not show that disrespect. Somebody tells you your name is offensive as it sounds to the locals, you would just change it. And if you didn't, you'd be shipped the fuck out of the country ASAP. They wouldn't fuck around. You're gone. You show that amount of disrespect right on the get-go, you're out. Just leave. You're not right here. You got to show some respect. And there's little respect being shown now to Americans, and I regret that. I make jokes about Americans, but I'm Canadian. I'm allowed to. Yeah. No, and this is the situation. We got morons screeching against, I don't know. I'm putting it up there, Baron Exile. I flipped it. Do you think it's in? Is it in there? I could read it well in the reverse. You were good to do it, but we'll test it out. Morons will be morons. One group of idiots makes noise, and another group of idiots will make noise in return, like screeching tribes of monkeys, all sound in fury, signifying nothing. So this is people are wound up and they're ready to go, and I think, as I said before, people on the right are against this police state more than maybe the people on the left. But they don't want the extremes of, suddenly restructuring the whole criminal justice system, which is not a criminal justice system. It's a prison industrial complex. And so it's got to just come back to a criminal justice system Yeah, I don't know, Baron Exile. It ghosted you? It's coming to the point, really. It's coming to the point where you need a sock puppet account to figure out whether your comments are going up. So maybe the situation is, if you got the computing power or the internet speed or whatever, set up a sock puppet account to just read the comments to make sure you're not being censored here or on other channels. I as far as I know, I've taken all censorship off. It ain't me. And they're censoring the craziest stuff, but they're not censoring any lettuce talk. It's free to talk about lettuce. Lettuce is that good vegetable that will clear all sorts of skin conditions. Yes, indeed. And I think we should give plentiful helpings of lettuce to help people's digestion and general state of health, to make improvements. Buy lettuce today. Brought to you by your local lettuce producers. Yes, indeed. They'll never know. They'll never know. They don't know now. In fact, I'm going to say I don't know anymore. That's the best thing. I don't know anymore. I'm safe. If I don't know what I'm saying, then how can I be held accountable to it? Sorry, this is called stunned silence, Baron Exile. With numbers inserted? Oh man, what are they doing? What are they doing? Oh my. They obviously got an algorithm which removes let's call them ghost characters, like numbers or maybe underscores or whatever it is. So they remove that from an alpha, which is alphabet, from an alphabet word. If there's numerics in there, they remove the numerics, and if it falls into the censored words, it won't let it out. Now, maybe it let me do it because I'm the channel owner. Maybe it let me do it. But morons, that used to be a legal term. A moron, when I was young, moron was somebody with an IQ of, between 65 and 75 or something like that. It was legally a status where you wouldn't expect a moron to be able to do certain things and be responsible or not responsible for certain things. There was idiots, and there was a ranking. You can go look it up. But I can't see that. As to your last statement here, do we have a YouTube mod listening in? Hi, YouTube mod. This is MGTOW Values. Welcome to the channel. And we're here with a number of men. So if you're not a man, I can't stop you from listening in. But if you're not a man, you will not understand what we're saying. Really. It takes a certain type of analytic thinking skills, which, unless, you're pretty well versed in logic and other analytic subjects, it'll just fly over your head. Sorry. Yeah, see there's the listing right there. Thanks, Johnny. Morons, idiots, simpletons, and imbeciles. So, YouTube mod, if you think you got enough, IQ to come on and talk with me, please do. But be very aware. I'm very proud of my IQ. I've worked at it very hard. And, well, we'll just find out. We'll find out. Just come on and stop censoring people when they use words that we all understand, in ways that we all understand. And we all like to laugh about things that we all understand. Yes, indeed. Even if they're dark. Yeah. Maybe some Islam is right about women. Yeah, no, that was very strange. I looked at it because I don't see the dislikes here. They nicely don't put the dislikes up on this screen that I see. I only see the likes. And yeah, no, that was very strange because it happened even really before I was on with Lamprey. It was like boom, Wookie was there. He was the first guy, and he said, "Look, there's 7 thumbs down." I said, "Wow." And I finished, and I had 8. So obviously they came back for more. But yeah, maybe they got a hard on for Lamprey Milt or something. I don't know. But how are you, Johnny? How are you? Yeah. We're talking about this guy, Stephen Bing. His picture's up there. Bill Clinton had wonderful things to say about him. He's given huge amounts of money to the Democrat Party. At 19 or so, he got $800 million from his granddad. And then he became a super Chad in Hollywood. And I call him Swamp Chad. And he threw men under the bus. He sidestepped his responsibility for his sperm. And then he just threw himself off the roof of a tall building. And ate some lettuce. Landed hard. And that's what happens when you throw yourself off of tall buildings. It's not pretty. It should be called what it is. And no, I don't believe it was the guy who developed Bing. No, he didn't quite have that edge to him. He dropped out of university. He tried a little bit after he got the money, but okay, I don't blame the guy. Right? You suddenly come into $800 million. Yeah, maybe that university degree is not looking so beneficial. Probably he couldn't sit in the classroom, to tell you the truth. Everyone would find out immediately that this guy has more money than the university. And my God, you wouldn't be able to walk through the halls. And okay, maybe so. And anyway, he was a swamp Chad. He went on the Lolita Express with Epstein, and what's happening? The swamp's being drained. All his Hollywood buddies, they're all having to stop their, tendencies. Can we call them tendencies? Tendencies in Hollywood to do bad things. So, the tendencies were stopped in Washington. I think this is part of the reason why they want Trump out at any cost. They're willing to do anything to get him out. Close down the pizza shop, stop the Lolita Express. It's like, what else is he going to do? What else is he going to do? Yep. Yeah. That's right. No, you saw the sign in the chop jazz chop. I think chop jazz sounds better. It's sort of like chop suey or something. It's like a Chinese lunch. The chop jazz. If a Chinese restaurant were really smart, they put something on the menu. Chop jazz. A chaotic meal when you're really hungry and poor. Anyway, yeah, they had a sign, and it looked like some weird type of reverse, gulag or something. Where white people with signs saying only black people are allowed in. That seems a little odd to me, but it seemed odd to other people too. Like, okay, maybe, and I'm a minority here. Nobody treats me that well. I don't have that space. No. Oh God. Anyway. Did that one come out? I upside righted it. I had been about to say that I didn't want to compare the races to apes because apes would be more intelligent. Yes, indeed. And there was some definite superiority complexes when Europe went out, and they had a technological edge, and they had Bach, and they went around the world and thought they were hoity-toity. And in some way, okay, they were. They were at the head. They had Francis Bacon, they had Rene Descartes. They were moving into modernity, and it was fast. And we're still in modernity, and it's fast. And I see it here. Thanks, Bad Max 62. Yeah, we got rabbits, we got lettuce, we got rabbits and lettuce, and we'll remember that one for when the YouTube censors come and everyone else comes. Oh, he says to Baron Exile. It didn't come up. It's right between Baron Exile and Bad Max. Gotta go. And I righted it, and they didn't do that. Maybe you can't use the R word. That was R word for anyone listening at a distance. The racist word. But maybe I'll restructure that sentence. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry, I missed that last comment. Nor did I see the inverted comment in the stream on screen. What do you mean, the inverted comment? What? The inverted comment? Get out of here. Get out of here. What? So I just put one up here, and now I'm putting the inverted comment. So I wrote the comment right under, nor did I see the inverted comment in the stream on screen. Right after that, I wrote, I had been about to say that I didn't want to compare the flowers to the trees because flowers would be more beautiful. Did that appear? Because that's of the very same structure as the races to apes comparison. Then I re-put in the upside down. I put in the upside down version right after my comment. So I got two comments in a row. Do you see two comments in a row? The second one being that inverted comment about the apes and the races. Oh, okay then. And then I did just so it didn't stop me from going upside down with your upside down comment. And then I put another one in where I just used the backwards effect and not both the backwards and upside down. But you're saying it censored your upside down comment. Oh my God. But I saw it. I saw your upside down comment. No. Yeah, I see your upside down comment. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure anymore what's going on, to tell you the truth. This is too much. When they start censoring an upside down and inverted comment, you know that things are going bad. Things are going bad. This is the Tower of Babel now. They're not allowing people to speak. This is incredible. No. Comparing races to apes. Yeah, I don't know. They're our nearest relative, for heaven's sakes. Genetically, they're our nearest relative. What, 99.7 or something, or 97.9? My, oh my. Anyway, this is the swamp. This is what the swamp is trying to do. It's trying to social engineer, and this is what I put as what we're into. The police are not taking accountability for the bad cops when they do bad things. Okay, that's causing people to think that every cop is bad and that every white person is benefiting from this. But no, what we had was do-goodery. Back in the 60s, they destroyed the black family. They dispossessed black men of their normal ways and sent them in a spiral. Then the police started just, collecting up all the easy, arrests, and they started arresting more and more. And now this is what we see. So we see a confluence of bad social engineering, and we're seeing more of that here in the chat. Obviously, we're seeing algorithmically machine-generated censorship, and a machine is trying to tell humans what to think. Yeah. I'm reading a comment, but I'm wondering why it's not censored. YouTube, like a number of sites, hired some cheap labor in soft currency countries and gave them editorial powers, setting them loose on their sites. That's a great line. It's is that what's happening? Americans are being told what they can think by people who are just sort of waking up to the world, as it were. They got a hand phone and they can read English, but that's about it. Yeah, no, they got their own personal agenda. Some of them hate America, and no, this is it. America's got to get control of itself, really. There should only be Americans telling Americans what they can and cannot say, because Americans know, fuck off. You can't tell an American what to say. What the hell's going on? I don't like it. I don't. Sometimes I don't like what Americans say. Sometimes to me I don't like it, but I always respected their right to say it. And the Canadians have the same thing. We think we're Americans, American juniors, and you try to shut a Canadian up after the Canadian's polite. We'll open up. Yeah, we'll unload. We can unload as well as the Americans. We just do it less often. So. You think? You think the mod who's interfering in real time has heard himself being spoken about in the stream? If you have, where the fuck are you from? Like, where are you from? Like, what time are you from? Right? I'm not stationed currently, as it were, in the West. So don't you talk to me. I know some things about the world. And I know some things about America that maybe you don't know. And the first thing is, fuck off and leave America alone. I mean, really, fuck off and leave America alone. This is their baby. This corporation, Google, YouTube, it is incorporated in the United States of America. And you should just fuck off if you're not American. I mean, everyone who works for Google and is dealing with Americans should be American. I think we need to get to that. And I don't care as long as they're American. In some way, don't get them right off the boat, right? Because really, they're not American. One generation, no, maybe two. Yeah, I'll give two, right? You're born in America, okay, but you're not born in America, no. What the fuck? You can't call yourself American. You're there, and maybe you get it, but maybe you don't. But your kids will get it. So that's it. So no, I prefer Americans running American stuff, and other countries running their own stuff. I got no problem. If there wants to be a India, Google, okay, yeah, break it up. Google India, and let Indians, be the censors on that one. Oh, sure. Who in the fuck would set up a site on India Google? Zip. Everyone will go to American Google, and that's what we thought we were on. So apparently now there's an antitrust thing going on, but Google's got to be dismantled, Twitter's got to be dismantled, Facebook has got to be dismantled. They have to be dismantled. They have to get rid of people who don't understand the value of free speech. So you're doing bad things. You're doing evil things. Apparently, we lost some viewers, so maybe they fucked off. Maybe they fucked off. Get the hell out. And I bet you any money somebody's going to say that's racist talk because they say Americans should be, monitoring Americans, as if Americans is a race. Like, it's the same thing as Mexico. Mexican is not a race. Canadian is not a race. I'm sorry. Brazilian is not a race. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's a nationality. So fuck off. Any race can be American. Any race can be Canadian. Any race can be Mexican. Any race can be Brazilian. Welcome to the new world. And I got to tell you, I got far more in common as a Canadian with a Brazilian than I do really with a European. In terms of our thinking, in terms of our attitudes, yeah. Now, the Brazilians, it's a big country. It's a little bit intense for us, Canadians, but nevertheless, they're New Worlders. And, that's it. Yeah, no, we're New Worlders, and we like that. We get along well with the Europeans. There's a commonality, and there's more or less similar places around the world. But if you can't put up with a little free speech, you got a problem. You got a real problem. And Europeans are more refined and more polite, let's say, than we New Worlders in the Americas. And the same probably can be said for those down under. Those New Worlders and down unders, they're so crass and impolitic would be the good way to say it. If they would just hold their tongue once in a while, I think we get along better. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. No, that's the thing about being born into an aristocracy. Yeah. No, hang the king. Although, I shouldn't say that, because, Canada's still a monarchy. But luckily, it's a constitutional monarchy, so we have the Magna Carta, so it's not like Europe. It's slightly different. So, but then King George blew it. King George III blew it with America. And anyway, it's I think what they're doing is getting around. People are sick of it, and even the swamp are becoming afraid. They're getting too much power, and you know. However, I'm going to. Oh. Yeah, well, I'm not quite sure what ragdolling means. It doesn't sound like it's polite, and it may be slightly illegal. I don't know, but if they started the assault, you can finish it, I suppose. But yeah, YouTube would block it. I'm surprised they didn't take your channel down. If you were wearing a MAGA hat, you're guilty already. You guilty. You guilty. You go to jail. You don't pass go. You don't collect $200. That's it. So, anyway, yeah, no, it's nuts out there. It's nuts. Anyway, I think I'm going to end the stream. We've had a good discussion, and we're looking at the censorious world we're living in, and I think I've read that Google is being investigated, and people are going to stop it. And hopefully Google will return to its American roots, at least for its American channels. The other channels around the world, you can get your own censors and do whatever the hell you like. But, eventually people are just going to, want to speak freely. And yeah, there's jerks out there, and there's psychopaths out there. And if they're putting anything up that's really, either illegal or in some way violent towards respect for humans, then yeah, maybe take it down. I can see that. So yeah. Okay. Let me try that out here. I remember the instantly regrets it. No, I'm not seeing it as the third one down for me. And is the word instantly in the title? Because I'm not seeing it. Oh, there we go. There we go. I see the tablet now. Yeah, I see it now. I got it now.
So this guy tried to take my hat at the Trump rally with Donald Trump Jr. at UF earlier today. And this is what happened when he tried to take my hat.
This is what happened when he tried to take my hat. There's a guy with a red shirt holding up a sign. And he's holding up his sign, walking around. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Wearing the shades. Took his hat, grabbed him, and then oh yeah, ragdoll. Ragdoll. And then the laugh.
Melted that soy boy.
Melted that slave
Just
boy.
ragdolled him in front of all those protesters.
Yeah,
it's pretty satisfying, not gonna lie. They ended up arresting him and letting me go. I'll be getting something in the mail.
They arrested him and let you go. Right on. Very nice. So and let me put that in the chat. Hey, there you go. There you go. There's the link, and that was fun. That was good. I got it. Yeah. From your description, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down for me, but I did a search on. Did you want the link put in the? Well, obviously, because you described it, so I put it in there. If you don't want it, tell me quick, and I'll take it off. But you led me to it, so you led everyone to it. So it's up there, but we can take it down or block this stream or whatever. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, okay, good then. Yep. No, that's right. They shouldn't have touched you. You got it right. If you're in America, you hold up that sign. You should be very confident that Americans should respect you. I don't know whether that guy was American. Didn't act like he was American. Act like he was some fucking type of, foreign simp. Maybe he was Canadian. Maybe that was a fucking Canadian foreign simp. Goddamn Canadians. I hate them. I hate those Canadians. Goddamn Canadians. Oh, hold on. I'm a Canadian. Hey, can I say that about myself? I don't know. I'm in cognitive dissonance. I'm in cognitive dissonance. I hate those MGTOW. Ah, yeah. There we go. Too friggin' smart to get caught up. In fact, I was on a couple of sites, and there's some young men out there. They're saying some pretty hard stuff. Some pretty smart stuff. And I'm confident that young men are going to be able to do it. So, they're doing new stuff. And if, on the next stream, I don't know, I think we'll continue with the theme of bringing joy and happiness to the world. I think we'll continue on with that theme. And, there's Chatterbation channel or something like that. Anyone ever hear of Chatterbation? And, I forgot to do that, subbing thing. Let me.
So this guy.
Yeah. Well, you got a lot of comments. Holy shit. You got more comments.
Charging battery.
Subs. Nice job. Good one. Anyway, I just subbed. Thanks. Thanks, Bear, for that. Yeah. And, So, no, they took down the other person. That was evidence of an assault. And, University of Florida. Yeah, I don't know. There's Canadians in Florida. I remember being in Florida once. So at least there was one. Maybe he was a Canadian. Anyway, we're looking okay. Get the word out. Young men are doing good. Old men are doing good. Yeah. No, it should be viral. We'll try to make it viral. I've never tried that. I don't know even how to think about doing that. But yeah. Yeah. There, in exile, I don't know what you're implying there, that that universities are just lowering standards so they can get more money. I think that's a serious charge now. For the love of God, don't let anyone know where you're from, because my God, they'll take you down. Look at that guy, the fuck boy in California. He's a leftist. He said, that's going to be, slightly disconcerting to people. And next thing you know, he's out. He's out of a job. Oh well, bye. Bye, Miss American Pie. Drove the fuckboy to the levee and she started to cry. The good old boys were drinking whiskey and, well, something else. just be glad I think you're not Chads. Because the Chads are in a bad way now. They realize they went down the wrong path. Some of them got caught. Some of them couldn't live with themselves, and then they go splat. That's the moral of this story. So take it easy, men, but take it. And God, I'm just looking at that picture and just saying, I'm glad it ain't me. I'm glad I didn't have that sort of money. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And with that, we'll end the stream. And remember, make tall plenty in 2020.